Hello people, let's quickly now revise introduction and overview of accounting standards. So this topic basically gives you the importance of accounting standards and which all entities has to apply the accounting standards. Basically, accounting standards are some written policy documents issued by the government. For companies, accounting standards are issued responsibilities with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But for non-corporate entities, the accounting standards are issued by our mother body, that is ICAI. Okay, so but they are basically gazetted documents released by the government. That's all is accounting standards. So why do we have accounting standards? Basically to standardize the things. Because if accounting standard was not there, maybe people would have done their own things. So to avoid that, and to bring the things some standardization to accounting. So they've just brought in the accounting standards. And also, by since everybody is following the same thing, the financial statements will become comparable. So one company of financial statement, if you want to compare with another one, it will be possible now because everyone will be following the same accounting treatment. Okay, that is one. And another part is, sir, any standard for that matter, take any accounting standards, they only cover 4 areas. Okay, that we used to call as RMPD. Only 4 areas which every accounting standard tries to cover: recognition, measurement, presentation, disclosure. Meaning to recognize something or not to recognize something. Like if you have to pay, if somebody has filed a case against you, somebody has filed a case against you, case is going on in the court of law, immediately I'll recognize it as liability or I'll assess it further. So whether to recognize that or not to recognize that, that is the first area accounting standard talks about. So if at all you say you have to recognize, the next question will be how much to recognize that liability for? 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 50 lakh, 5 crore, what value? That is your measurement aspect which accounting standard gives you the guidance. Third one is PP for presentation. So where should you show this liability? Under current liability, non-current liability, if at all non-current liability, which category? If at all you say current liability, under which category? So that is your presentation aspect which accounting standard gives you the guidance. Last is disclosure aspect. Suppose I make a provision, somebody has filed a case against me, I have made a provision for damages 5 crores. In my balance sheet, I have stored this provision for damages under current liability 5 crore. Will anybody understand it? Will somebody who's reading my financial statement understand it? No. Obviously, they would like to know what is this 5 crore? How the hell did this come through? Or come? Yes, that means we need to give some extra information about it. What is this 5 crore? Why it is come, etc. That is your disclosure aspect. Disclosure means giving some additional information so that the users of financial statement can understand the components. So every accounting standard just covers these things: recognition, measurement, presentation, disclosure. Okay, that is one. Benefits we already saw. Sir, non-corporate entities. Non-corporate. Sir, accounting standards are applicable for non-corporate entities also, sir. Yes. If you have sole proprietor partnership forms and all, even for that you need to apply accounting standards. So before you get to the application of accounting standards, sir, non-corporate entities are categorized into 4: level 1 entity, level 2, level 3, and level 4 entity. There are 4 categories in which they are segregated. Okay, why? Some entities in the respective levels get some exemptions, get some relaxation. Relaxation 4 categories. This 4 categorization. So for non-corporate entity, I told issuing the accounting standard is whose responsibility? Our mother body, ICAI. Only for corporate entities, issuing the standard is the responsibility of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So our ICAI has categorized non-corporate entities into 4: level 1, level 2, level 3, limit. So all level 4. So these sort of questions. This is little popular from this particular chapter. If at all it comes, probably it will be this one or one more question which I will take you through. Okay. They will give some data and they will ask you to classify an entity either as level 1, level 2, level 3 or level 4. The same has been asked in RTP question also, I take you through. So there are certain limits or conditions. If those limits are satisfied, it becomes the respective level. So and you have to remember those limits. This is pure memory. No logic. These are simply rules which you need to remember and apply. For it to be a level 1 entity or those entities we call it as level 1 entity, one is if they are already listed or in the process of listing. The shares or debentures, whether in India or abroad. That is one. Okay, if you are already listed or if you are in the process of listing, then you become a level 1 entity. Or if you are doing a banking business or financial institution business, or if you are a banker, financial institute or an insurance company, then you become a level 1 entity. Doesn't matter what your turnover is, what your net worth is, irrelevant. If you are a banker, financial institution or insurance company, you are automatically a level 1 entity. For other entities, if your turnover exceeds 250 crore, for you to be a level 1 entity, your turnover should exceed 250 crore and your borrowing should exceed 50 crore. If any of these are satisfied, you are a level 1 entity. Okay, these you need to remember. Turnover exceeding 250 crore, borrowing exceeding 50 crore. That's for level 1. Next is your level 2 entity. If you want to become a level 1 entity, your turnover will exceed 50 crore, but it will not exceed 250 crore. The turnover exceeds 50 crore but does not exceed 250 crore. And your borrowing exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. That is the limit for level 2 entity. Okay. For level 3 entity, what was the borrowing limit for level 2? Exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. That becomes your turnover limit for the level 3 entity. Level 3 entity are that entity where turnover exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. Or borrowing exceeds 2 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. All these limits you have to remember, they will not be. Okay, sir. So if these respective limits are reached, means you become a respective entity. Okay, level 4 entity is a residual category. If you are not a level 1, not a level 2, not a level 3, automatically you are a level 4 entity. Like that, the categorization is made. So why the categorization is made? Because as I told you, they will get some relaxation. If you are a level 2, level 3, level 4 entity, AS3, 17, 21, 23, 27, all these are not applicable. All these are not applicable for level 2, level 3 and level 4 entity. If you are a level 2, level 3 or level 4, AS3, 17, 21, 23, 27. There are more, remember this much, that is good. Is that okay with you? So for them it's not applicable. However, accounting standard 18, related party disclosure, for level 1 and 2 applicable, for level 3 and 4 not applicable. This is for your level 1 entities, because they get some exemptions. Fine, okay. So far we discussed corporate entities or non-corporate entities. All these are limits for the non-corporate entities. If you are a corporate entity means MCA will give, MCA told I will not do 4. I say, our mother body, we always like to go long and big. So that's the reason how many categories? 4. Ministry of Corporate Affairs, we only will have 2 categories: SMC, non-SMC. SMC, non-SMC. SMC means small and medium-sized company, and non-SMC means big company. So basically, if you are an SMC company, you get exemptions. If you are not an SMC company, you don't get exemption. That's what I, in a Ministry of Corporate Affairs, have segregated the limit. So means for this again, limit is there. So, yeah, limit is there, but that is nothing but your level 1 entity. What is level 1 limit? Level 1 entity ka limit? Tell me once again. First is it should be either you are listed or in the process of listing, whether shares or any other securities in India or abroad, or you are a banker or financial institute or insurance company. Turnover exceeds 250 crore, borrowing exceeds 50 crore. Yes, no. If none of the conditions are satisfied, you are an SMC. So if level 1 conditions are not satisfied, means you become a SMC. That means redraft the condition for SMC now. SMC means that those companies which are not listed or in the process of getting listed in India or abroad. Okay. The SMC means that company which is not into banking or a financial institute or which is doing some insurance business. Their turnover will not exceed 250 crore. Their turnover, borrowing will not exceed 50 crore. So that means this limit is not new, it is level 1 ka ulta limit. So if level 1 limit is not satisfied, it means you automatically become a SMC. SMC also gets an exemption. AS17 is not applicable in full. AS17 talks about segment reporting, that is not applicable in full. SMC companies can take that relaxation. And for with respect to a few things like AS50, 19 and 21, they get some disclosure and some other exceptions. Remember this much, there are a lot of exceptions category. It's maybe a little difficult to remember everything. I feel this much is good enough. Is that fine with you, sir? Okay. This is about for corporate entity. If you are not an SMC, automatically you are a big company. For big companies, every standard has to be applicable, no relaxations. That's all. Alright, so now some questions. That's all is the concept that can come from the standard. One or two questions we'll quickly take. First, I think you know the limits or you remember the limits. Let's see how well you remember the limits. So, so they've given different cases. You need to tell whether the entity is level 1, level 2, level 3 or level 4. That's all. Rama Textiles. Turnover of this company exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. Okay, so what sort of an entity is this Rama Textiles? Level 3 entity. Level 1 का entity का what is the turnover limit? Exceeds 250 crore. Level 2 का exceeds 50 crore but does not exceed 250 crore. Level 3 का exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. Here this turnover they saying exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. That means this is level 3 entity का turnover. Okay, so Rama Textile here is a level 3. This is an RTP question. Okay, Star Industries is having a borrowing of excess of 2 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. What's of an entity? Borrowing limit exceeds 2 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. What is it? Level 3. Okay. Level 1 borrowing limit is exceeding 50 crore. Level 2 का exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore. Level 3 का exceeds 2 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. So here they have given 2 and not exceeding 10. So it's a level 3. Newman Industries is having a borrowing less than 50 lakhs. So level 3 ka limit is exceeding 2 but does not exceeding 10. Here the borrowing is only 50 lakhs. That means is it level 3? No. If you're not a level 3, automatically you are which entity? Level 4. Okay. The other three I don't have to even read. It's a financial institution, it's a finance, and here it's a bank. If you're a bank or financial institution or insurance company, you're automatically level. So all these are level 1. Like this is a question. Fine now. Okay. Next. This one. A company was classified as non-SMC. Non-SMC means small company or big company. SMC means small company. Non-SMC means they are big company. Will big company get any relaxation or everything is applicable? Everything is applicable. They were a big company in 2001, X2. Next year was to call. In 2002, X3. It was classified as SMC. Someone's bad, lucky, bad, couldn't know everything fall on them. Rahu, Ketu and all kind of came on their back. And from big company they became what? SMC. When they were big company, is exemption available? No. But when they become SMC, is exemption available? Is certain standards not applicable for them? Yes. Okay. So which year they became SMC? 20, X2, X3. Okay, correct. I'm not telling problem. Correct. The management desires to avail exemptions or relaxation available for SMC in 20, X3. Since it became SMC, they're saying we will take the exemptions and relaxation whatever is applicable. You need to comment. However, the accountant of the company does not agree with this. He's saying, no. You need to comment. What, we will fire the accountant or we will give him shabash? Fire or shabash? We will give him this time shabash. He's right. Why is, sir, you are a big company and it became SMC. What the standard says is, okay, from if this we call it as I used in my class purpose, I used to call this as downgradation. I used to call this as downgradation. Downgradation means you're moving up in life or going down. Down. From big company you've gone to a small company. So it's the case of a downgradation. Standard does not use. I used to call this. Okay, I don't write downgradation in exam. Okay, so this is the case of a downgradation. What standard says is if you are going from big company, if you're becoming a small company, standard says wait for 2 consecutive years. Wait for 2 consecutive years and then take exemption. Immediately this year if you became SMC means you can't take relaxation this year only. Wait for 2 consecutive years. Meaning this year also you wait. Next year also you wait. Next year also if you remain in SMC category, from next year onwards start taking the exemption. So this year they can't because you have to wait for how many years? 2 consecutive years. This is for safety question. Now you only think logically. It was a big company, they were following all the standards. Now suddenly some things happened and they become a small company. Their turnover has reduced drastically, borrowing has reduced drastically means company is in a good place or a bad place? Bad place. Now this company suddenly takes exemption. Okay. Now think from the investor perspective. Earlier these companies used to give all the disclosures. Now they will stop disclosing because they become an SMC. But suddenly you become an SMC means don't the investor want to know the reason for it? Don't the investor want to know the reason for it? Yes. Hence the standard is told immediately there's a downgradation. Don't take the exemption. Immediately wait for 2 consecutive years so that it will protect the interest of the outsiders. So with that in mind, these provisions are made. Okay. So immediately you won't take, you have to wait for 2 consecutive years. So this year alone, next year also you need to wait, and next year also if you're still under exemption, from next year onwards start taking exemption. That's the answer. Yes, sir. This is popular. Okay, now I think these are all the 2 questions I see from this particular topic. Thank you. Hello people, let's continue our.
Okay. So what are accounting standards documents issued by the government? Why they are issued? For consistency and comparability, and to standardization of why they are issued. Standardization of accounting treatment, additional disclosure requirement, comparability of financial statements. Standardization, comparability, additional disclosures. What does an AS covers? AS covers recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. Recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure on the accounting transfer. So so for corporate entities, NCA releases the accounting standard. For non-corporate entities, as AA releases the accounting standards. So what are non-corporate entities? Non-corporate entities are classified into 4 categories: level 1 entity, level 2 entities, level 3 entity, level 4 entity. So what are the difference? Only some disclosures, additional disclosures will not be required under some level of industries. So what is a level 1 industry? Level 1 industries are those industries which are listed or in the process of listing, which is a banking, financial institution, or an insurance company. An insurance company whose turnover exceeds 250 crores, whose borrowing exceeds 50 crores. This is level 1 entity. What's the level 2 entity? Level 2 entities are those entities whose turnover exceeds 50 crores but does not exceed 250 crores, and whose borrowing exceeds 10 crores but does not exceed 50 crores. What is the level 3 entity? Level 3 entities are those entities whose turnover exceeds 10 crore but does not exceed 50 crore, and whose borrowing exceeds 2 crore but does not exceed 10 crore. Okay, what are level 4 entities? Level 4 entities are those entities which are not level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 3. So what are the exemptions they can get? So level 1 entity need to follow all the accounting standards. There is level 2, level 3, level 4 entities. AS 3, 17, 3, 17, 21, 23, 27. AS 3, what the fuck is AS 3? AS 3 cash flow statement. 317 related party disclosure. Three cash flow statement. 17 segment reporting. Yes, 17 segment reporting. 21 CFS. 23 associates, CFS of associates. 27 interest in joint venture. So இதெல்லாம் வந்து applicable ஆகும். 3. So CFS segment reporting, cash flow statement segment reporting, CFS of subsidiaries, CFS of joint CFS of associates, CFS of financial reporting in the interest of joint venture. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து எஸ்எம்சிக்கு இதுக்கு அப்ளிகபிள் ஆகாது. அண்ட் எம்சிஏ வாட் இஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து எம்சிஏ வந்து ஸோ ICA segregates these four types of entities, whereas MCA segregates itself SMC and non-SMC. What are the non-SMCs? Non-SMCs are nothing but the level 1 industry, which is listed company or in the process of listing, a banking, financial institution, or an insurance company, whose turnover exceeds 250 crore and whose borrowing exceeds 50 crores. Fine. So இதில் வந்து இது ஒன்று. செகண்ட் இது வந்து if a company goes from a non-SMC to an SMC. Non-SMC means big company, which goes to a small company, then they cannot straight away get the relaxations. They have to wait for at least 2 consecutive years. At the end of the second consecutive years, they can change their accounting policies to non-SMC accounting policies. Fine, bro. முடிஞ்சு. So, preliminary and incorporation. So, preliminary அதெல்லாம் இம்பார்ட்டண்ட், மோஸ்ட்லி டெஃபினேஷன்ஸ் மட்டும்தான். ஸோ டெஃபினேஷன்ஸில் என்னென்ன இருக்குது, என்னென்ன இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் அமைஞ்சிருக்கேன். ப்ரைவேட் லிமிடெட் கம்பெனி, சப்சிடரி, ப்ரைவேட் லிமிடெட் சப்சிடரி, ஸ்மால் கம்பெனி, டார்மெண்ட் கம்பெனி. இது வரைக்கும் நான் தான் கேட்டிருக்கீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Small company, subsidiary company, foreign company, registered company, What's a small company? A small company means a company other than a public company with a paid up share capital not exceeding 4 crore or such higher amount as may be prescribed, but does not exceed 10 crore. As per the last PL of statement of profit and loss, the preceding financial year does not exceed 40 crore. Turnover does not turnover as per the profit and loss statement of the preceding financial year does not exceed 40 crore or such higher amount as may be prescribed, which shall not exceed 100 crore. Provided nothing in this clause shall apply to holding of subsidiary company, section 8 company, company or body corporate governed under special act. Okay. What's a special company? A special company means a company other than a public limited company, public company. Okay, which has a paid up share capital not exceeding 4 crore or such higher amount as may be prescribed, and turnover as per the statement of profit and loss of the preceding financial year does not exceed 40 crore or such higher amount as may be prescribed, which does not exceed 100 crore. Provided nothing in this clause shall apply to a holding or subsidiary company, uh, body corporate established under special act, under section 8 company, 2 clause 85, small 5 letter, so 585. Fine. Subsidiary company or subsidiary in relation to any company means a company in which the holding company controls the position of board or exercises the control of more than one half of the total voting power, either on its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary. Provided such class of holding company as may be prescribed shall not have layers of subsidiary beyond such number as may be prescribed. Subsidiary company or subsidiary in relation to a company in which the holding company has the control over the composition of the board, has a control over the company board, or exercise control of more than one half of the voting power, either on its own or together by one or more of its subsidiary. Provided such class of holding company as may be prescribed shall not have layers of subsidiary beyond such number as may be prescribed. Subsidiary company or subsidiary company in relation to the company in which the holding company controls the composition of board or holds more than one half of the total voting power, either on its own or through one or more of its subsidiary. Provided such class of holding company as may be prescribed shall not have layers of subsidiary company beyond such number as may be prescribed. The 2 plus 87. 2 plus 87. Two plus 42. 42 Foreign company means any company or body corporate which is incorporated outside India, which has a place of business in India, whether by itself or through an agent, physically or through electronic mode, and conduct business activity in India. Foreign company means a company or a body corporate incorporated outside India, has a place of business in India, either by itself or through an agent, physically or through an electronic mode, and conduct business activity in India. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Breaker. வாழ்க்கையில் ஆயிரம் தடக்கணக்காக நடக்கும். The format. வாழ்த்துக்கள் வாழ்த்துக்கள். புலி அல்ல நீ ஒரு வெட்டும் புலி என்று ஃபாரின் கம்பெனி முடிச்சேன். Can a company follow differentially? Where a company or a body corporate is a holding or a subsidiary or associate of a company incorporated outside and is required to follow financially or a consolidating of its accounts outside India. The CG or an application made by the company or a body corporate in such a form and manner as may be prescribed shall allow any period as its financial year. Where a company or body corporate which is a holding subsidiary or an associate of a company incorporated outside India and is required to follow a different financial year for its consolidation of accounts outside India. The CG on an application made to it by in a prescribed form and manner shall allow any period as its financial year. Okay. The citizen allotment எத்தனை டெஃபினேஷன் முடிஞ்சு side effect small company it is a subsidiary for foreign company different financial இது இல்லை ரூல் பண்ணுது. Next, consolidated financial statements 123 129 where a company has one or more of its subsidiaries each shall in addition to the financial statement provide under subsection 2 prepare a consolidated financial statement of the company and all of its subsidiaries and associates in common manner and in accordance with the accounting standard which shall also be laid in the general meeting along with laying its statement along with laying its financial statement under subsection 2 the company shall also its attached with its financial separate statement and the silent figure of financial statement and its subsidiary company and associates in Form AOC 1 where a company has one or more of its one or more subsidiary or associates shall in addition to the financial statement provided under subsection 2 prepare a consolidated financial statement of all its subsidiaries and associates in form and manner of and in accordance with the approved financial statement which shall also be laid in the general meeting of the company along with the financial statement under the financial statement prepared under subsection 2 the company shall also attach its financial statement and silent features of silent attach the financial statement attached its financial statement as a statement contains silent features of the financial statement of its subsidiary and associates in Form AOC 1. Okay. What is the listed company? means a company listed in any of any of its securities recognized stock exchange, provided such class of company which is listed or a process of listing of securities as may be prescribed by the Securities and Exchange Board shall not be considered as a listed company. What is a listed company? Listed company means company any of its shares are listed in the recognized stock exchange, provided such class of company or such class of company which is listed or a process of listing uh, of such class of securities as may be prescribed as security exchange board shall not be considered as listed company. They are a public company which has not listed the equity share in the stock exchange but have listed their non-convertible debt securities issued on private places in term B listing debenture listing of debenture securities regulations 2008 non-convertible redeemable preference share issued on a private placement basis in terms of SEBI issue and listing of non-security listing of non-convertible redeemable preference share. Such money will not be considered a company which have listed their non-convertible securities on a secure placement basis on a recognized stock exchange of SEBI listing of debt security. A public company who have not listed shares on a stock exchange whose equity shares are listed in the jurisdiction it's okay. First, non-convertible debt securities, non-convertible redeemable preference share is both a public company where has listed its non-convertible debt securities in accordance to in a private placement issued in a private placement base. Private placement base issue பண்ண non-convertible debt securities, non-convertible redeemable preference shares, non-convertible redeemable preference shares on a private placement basis. A company which has listed its non-convertible securities on a private placement basis is not listed as shares in a stock exchange whose equity shares are listed in the specified in subsection 3 of 22 Companies Act. Okay. Core and listed company where the securities are listed in the recognized exchange will be considered as a listed company. But SEBI has listed all companies even though the securities are listed in stock exchange, they will be considered as they will not considered as a listed company. Those a listed company who has not listed its equity shares, who has not listed equity shares in recognized stock exchange, but has listed a non-convertible debt securities issued on private placement basis. Non-convertible debt securities issued on private placement, non-convertible redeemable share issued on private placement basis on both. It was public. In case of a private, only debt security, non-convertible debt securities. Next, a public company who has not issued listed equity shares in a recognized stock exchange, but whose shares are listed in jurisdiction of the specific jurisdiction listed listed company considered பண்ண மாட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறார்கள். Fine. Class 52. 42. 52 listed. 42. 52 listed. 40. 52 listed. 40. What is defined financial statement? If a statement in relation to a company includes its balance sheet of the statement of profit and loss statement or statement of income expenditure, so statement of equity, any explanatory statement annexed to or any document annexed to suppliers. 4. Exemption. Financial statement in respect of PC, small company, joint company, private limited company. If such private limited company is a startup, may not include a cash flow statement. If such private limited company is a startup, may not include a cash statement. Limited company cash flow statement prepared now. If it is not a small company, it is not a small company. If it's private, if it's a startup, then it may not include a cash flow. A financial statement in relation to a company includes a balance at the end of the financial year, profit and loss statement, or a statement of income and expenditure, statement of change in any explanatory statement annexed to, or any document annexed to, any document annexed to class 1 to 4. Example, financial statement respect of OPC, small company, common company, a private company which is not a stock, which is a, shall not include cash flow statement, shall not include flow statement. Okay. Now, thinking about the dormant company, what is a dormant company? Where a company is formed or registered under the Act for a future project or holds an asset or intellectual property and has no significant operating transaction. Such company or an inactive company may make an application to the register in such a manner as may be Rule 3 rules, Companies Act rules for obtaining status of a dormant company. An active company means a company which has not been carrying business operations or made any significant contribution during the last 2 financial year, or has not filled the financial statement and returned during the last financial year. Significant activity will say transaction other than payment of fees by the company to register. Payment may fulfill the requirement of Act. Allotment of shares will fulfill the requirement. Payment for maintaining the office and its records. The significant accounting activities of diamond company and the stressed company. So after the company section 445, 445, company 445, where a company is formed, registered for a future project or to hold asset or intellectual property or has no significant accounting transaction. Such a company, active company, make an application to the central register in such a manner as may be read by Companies Act rules for obtaining the status of dormant company. Inactive company means company which has not been carrying out any transaction or has not made any significant transactions, business operations, or has not made a significant business operation, transactions, or which has not during the last financial year or during the last financial year or has not filed its financial statement and annual return for the stated financial year. Significant accounting transaction means a transaction other than payment to the payment of fees by the company to the register, payment made to fulfill the requirements of the Act, allotments fulfill the requirement of the Act, payment for maintaining the office and its records. Fine. What's a related party? A related party with reference to company includes any body corporate which is a subsidiary of a holding company. It is also a subsidiary. Related party to class 16. A promoter. Who is a promoter? Promoter is a person who has named as such in prospectus as identified by the company in its annual return, who has control over the affairs of the company whether as a shareholder, director, or otherwise, in accordance with advice, direction, or instruction the board of director of the company is accustomed to act, provided that nothing in this subclass apply to a person who was acting merely as a professional capacity. Promoter, person who has been named as such in the prospectus, identify the company in the annual return, who has the control of the affairs of company either directly or as a shareholder or as a share of their director or otherwise, in accordance with whose advice or directions or instructions the board of director of the company is accustomed to act, provided that nothing the subclause shall apply to any person who is merely acting as in a professional capacity. இது வரைக்கும் என்ன பார்த்துருக்கோம். Small company to class 85, subsidiary to class 87, financial statement to class 40, foreign company to class 2, list company to class 52 to 52. Next when the company changes its financial year பார்த்தோம். Next consolidated financial statements பார்த்தோம். CFS பார்த்தோம் 190, டாட் கம்பெனி பார்த்தோம் 4445, கடைசியாக 69 to plus 69. ஸோ கம்பெனிஸ் ஆக்டில் கம்பெனியில் preliminary ஓரளவுக்கு ஓகே, preliminary good. Next chapter 1, incorporation of a company. Incorporation of a company. The talent sana particular person वाला है. So section 2 வரைக்கும் பார்த்துருக்கோம். Section 3, formation of a company. Formation of a company இல்லை என்னென்ன இருக்கு? How many members can be in a company? Public company 7, private company 2, OPC only 1. So what is an OPC? OPC le enna important point இருக்கு? sana படிக்கிற தந்தோஸ். OPC. So what are the importance in OPC? How many members take there in OPC? Only one. How many have other be included? Yes. What is it? How many can be included? Only one. Okay. So who can be a member of OPC? OPC. Also, who can be of OPC? A natural person, being an Indian citizen, a resident of us. What is a resident? A person who has stayed in India for in the previous year for 120 days or 120 days, or by this condition is not applicable. We can apply and the other reasons to okay. Next, OPC. What are the important points? OPC cannot be converted into a company. OPC cannot uh, engage in the business of non-bank financial operations, including investment in other body corporates. So இது வந்து OPCக்கு வந்து இதாகுது. Okay. Next, how can nominee is this thing. So nominee has to issue consent form INC3 to the member, so to the company. So company will forward the consent to inform INC4. No minor shall become a no member of OPC. On the important point. Okay. In case the nominee wish to withdraw a consent or the OPC wish to change the nominee with 15 days, application can be with 3 days. An application to the company to be hold to nominee should be within 15 days and within 30 days from the receipt of the application filed on to ROC, which will be in form INC4. Okay. How can OPC be converted into a private limited company? அது ஒன்று இருக்குது, அது ஒரு வாட்டி எங்களுக்கு OPC, the OP can convert the OPC into a private limited company, a public company, limited company, as well as an asset company with no paid up capital and turnover restriction. Rule 6 of the Companies Act, Companies Incorporation Amendment Rules 2023. The OPC shall hold its memorandum article by passing a resolution in accordance with section 122 of the Act to effect with the effect of conversion and to make necessary changes thereon. OPC can be converted into a public company, private company, other than a public private company, other than a section company, after in the number of members and directors to 2 and 7, directors 2 and 3. The company shall form INC 6 conversion along with the fees for MOA and MOA. Being satisfied that the recurrence stated here have been complied with the registrar after examining the latest auditing financial statement. So, we want to issue the certificate. Simple. The OPC first on the alternate memorandum and articles by passing resolution in accordance with section 20 to give conversion and make necessary changes thereon. Converted OPC can be converted into a private company or public company, but cannot be converted into an OPC with the section 8 company, with increasing the members to 2 or 7 with the directors 2 and 3. The company shall file form INC 6 along with the EOE articles and with articles, altered articles and memorandum on being satisfied. Elements of the reference are stated here have been complied with. The registrar shall, after examining the financial statement or audited statement uploaded, so after examining the latest audited financial statement, the approve and issue the certificate of incorporation. Oh, okay. Section 3. Okay. Section 4. Section 4 is MOA. So what are the contents of MOA? 5 classes. Name, register office class, object class, subscription class, liability class, subscription class. So what is the name of the class includes name of the company, whether it's a public company or a private, define its status, public company or a private company. Register class. Register office class states the where register office, the state in which the register office is situated. Uh, Audit class. Audit class define the what are the audits of the company. Liability class. Liability class defines whether it is limited by share or limited by guarantee. Next step. Subscription class. Subscription class contains the name, contains subscribe to the memorandum, subscriber to the company, first subscribers of the company. Other than that, in case of an OPC, a nominal class will be included. இதில் என்ன இருக்கு? செக்ஷன் ஃபுல்லாக அல்ட்ரா வைரஸ் இருக்கும். டாக்டரின் ஆஃப் அல்ட்ரா வைரஸ் இருக்கு. எனிதிங் நாட் ஸ்டேட்டட் இன் MOA object by the doctrine. பிரேக் முடிச்சுட்டு வரேன். வெல்கம். ஒரு வேலை இருக்கு, முடிச்சுட்டு வந்துடுறேன். Buckle up, motherfucker. That. Fine. I have time. Section 4. MOA. So total 5 class. Name, registered office, object, liability, subscription. In case of OPC, non-main class. Okay. So இதில் MOA வேறு என்ன இருக்குது? Doctrine of Ultra. Doctrine of Ultra. Anything not stated in MOA as an object is prohibited by the doctrine. Is prohibited by the doctrine. Act which is ultra is void and does not company. A company such action cannot be ratified even if all the members are assent to it. Neither can sue. Neither parties can sue. Doctrine of ultra was stating what? Anything not stated in an object, anything not stated in the MOA as an object is prohibited by the doctrine. Act which ultra is void and does by the company. It cannot be ratified if all the members assent to it. Neither parties can sue. Doctrine of okay. Exception to doctrine of ultra is doctrine of indoor management. Correct? Okay. So doctrine of indoor management indoor management protects the outsider to the company who are dealing with the company. Protects the outsider of the company who are dealing with the person dealing with the company, though are supposed to have satisfied themselves regarding the competence of the company and safely presume that the internal proceedings of the company have been properly or complied with. They need not inquire into the regularity of the company's proceedings. This provides protection to those persons who are dealing with the company so that he can protect himself. But there are so doctrine of management protects the outsiders of the company who are dealing with the company. As for this provision, persons who are dealing with the company, they are supposed to have satisfied themselves regarding the competence of the company through their as per this provision, persons dealing with the company through they are supposed to have satisfied themselves regarding the competence of the company can safely presume that the internal proceedings of the company have been properly complied. Need not inquire into the regularity of the internal proceedings. This process provides protection to the person dealing with the company so that they can protect themselves for ruled by certain circumstances based on reasonable and justifiable grounds that are bound to examine the registered documents. They are bound to register the registered documents of the company and ensure the circumstances of the proposed dealing, but are not bound to do more. There are some exceptions to the rules. Knowledge of regularity, weight of benefit cannot be claimed. Person dealing with the company has knowledge of irregularity management. Forgery cannot be, this doctrine cannot be where the act is done in the company or forged. Applies only to the regularity of the company. Otherwise, it be otherwise be genuine transaction. Negligence. If the regularity can be discovered by the person dealing company on making a proper inquiry, cannot claim the protection of the rule is possible where the circumstances surrounding the contract so such as to inquiry to the auditors be the company. Okay. doctrine of constitutional notice. This is one of the registration of MOA and AOA of the company. With the registrar of the company, person dealing with the company is aimed to have a constructive notice of the concerns. This is because these documents constructed as a public document. Accordingly, if a person deals with the company in a manner incompatible with the provisions of outside documents and which are ultra-wise to this document, he must do so in his. It operates once against person who has been dealing with the company has not against the company itself. Consequently, he is prevented from alleging that it is not the constitution of the company. He regarding the recorded a particular transaction or delegation of the authorities of the ultra-wise. Wording கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது, கான்செப்ட் ஈஸி, வேர்டிங்ஸ் கஷ்டம். Constructive notice now, in consequence of registration of AOA and MOA, the company register of the company, the person dealing with the company are deemed to notice of the contents. This is because these documents are considered as a public documents. According to person dealing with the company manner is incompatible with the provisions of the opposite documents entered into the transaction, which is otherwise to this document, he must do so in his profile. Company Accordingly, if a person deals with the company in a manner incompatible with the provisions of the opposite document transaction, which is ultra-virus, these documents ultra-virus to this means he must do so at his peril. அவனோட ஓன் இதில் தான் ஜென்ரலாக தான் பண்ணணும், இதை வந்து எதுவும் முடியாது. ஓகே, ஓகே. ஸோ MOA செக்ஷன் அவ்வளோதான். செக்ஷன் 5 AOA. இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் விஷயம் என்னதுன்னா entrenchment. So what is an entrenchment? If an article of association may be altered by passing special rules, but an entrenchment makes it more difficult to change it. So entrenchment means making something more protective. An article may contain provisions for entrenchment. Article may contain the provisions of entrenchment to a specified provision of the articles may be altered if the conditions or procedure as that are more restrictive than those applicable in case of a special resolution or complied with them. So ஜென்ரலாக என்னன்னா ஆர்டிக்கல் வந்து டேரெக்டாக ஸ்பெஷல் ட்ரெஸ் பாஸ் பண்ணி ஆர்டிக்கலில் இருக்கிற ப்ரொவிஷன் வந்து ஸ்பெஷல் ட்ரெஸ் பாஸ் பண்ணி சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிக்கலாம். பட் இன் கேஸ் த ப்ரொவிஷன் இஸ் பீங் என்ட்ரென்ச்னா பீங் மோர், அதாவது வந்து இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ஆர்டிக்கலை வந்து இங்கே சேஞ்ச் பண்ணோன்னா ஸ்பெஷல் ரெசல்யூஷன் கூட இன்னும் ஒரு ப்ரொசீஜர் இது பண்ணால் தான் சேஞ்ச் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு விஷயம் இருக்கிறது பேர் entrenchment provision. The provision of entrenchment shall be made either on formation of the company or amendment of article by article agreed to by all the members of a private company or special resolution in case of a public company. Notice to the register. Notice to the register. When the articles provision entrenchment whether made on the form or amendment, the company shall give notice to the register in such form as may be prescribed, which is form MGT 14. MGT 14. Usually, the articles be altered by passing a special resolution, but an enrichment makes it more difficult to do so. The articles may contain the provisions for the entrenchment to affect the specific provision of the article be altered only if such procedure or manner if conditions of procedure that are restrictive than those applicable in case of special resolution or complied with. Manner of provision for entrenchment can be included at the time of forming a company or amendment by passing a special resolution in case of a public company and by assent by all the members in case of a private limited company. Where the article containing the provisions of entrenchments are whether made at the formation of the company or at the time of an amendment shall inform the register in form MGT 14. Okay. This section 5 AOA. Section 6 Act 2 over MOA and AOA. This provision of the Act shall have overriding effect to the provisions contained in this provision. Act shall have overriding effect to the provision contained in Memorandum of Articles of Association, Articles of the Company, any agreement executed by it, or any resolution passed by the company in the general meeting or by the directors, whether the same has been registered, executed, or any provision containing memorandum, articles, or resolution to the extent in conflict with the of the Act shall be void. To the extent the conflict of the provision of the Act shall be void. Any provision or content that is contained in the Articles of Association, Articles, AOA, resolution passed, the Act conflict action, Act will always prevail, and the contents therein shall be void. Okay. Section 7 Incorporation of company. So, incorporation of company. What is the process of incorporation? This is some steps. First, AOA, MOA, next, registered office for correspondence, details of first shareholders, details of particulars of consent from all the directors and members, certified by CACMA, cost content renewal and director, certification of director and subscribe the documents subscribe or true. Officer has been committed not guilty of fraud in the last 5 years in the formation and management of the company. So, AOA, MOA, address for correspondence, details of directors and first, details and particulars of directors, shareholders, details and particulars of consent from directors, consent from directors to as a director, certification by CACMA, cost accountant, advocate, and certification from the and subscriber that documents documents submitted are true, not no offenses committed. No offense has been committed in the promotion, formation, or management of the company. Not guilty of fraud in the last phase in the promotion management. Not guilty of under the any act. Okay. Next, once incorporated, if the documents are correct. Okay. Incorporation of a company, power of tribunal in case of for provided. Where a company got incorporated by furnishing false information. Presentation of the suppression of any material fact or information in any of the document and the any of the documents or declaration and filed or for incorporating such company by fraudulent action. Tribunal may on an application made to it on being satisfied with the situation so pass an order that it for the decision of management including changes in its AOA and MOA in the interest of the members' interest or the creditors' interest. Direct the liability of the member became unlimited. Removal of name of from the register of the company. An order for winding up of the company or pass such order as seems provided before making such order. The case shall be given to reasonably of being heard. The tribunal shall take into consultation the transaction led by the company, including obligations, if any, contracted or the payment of liability. Contracted or payment of the liability. Where the company incorporated, how a company got incorporated by furnishing false information, document or representation, or by suppressing material fact or information, if any, in the document if any, the document declarations and declarations filed or made while incorporating such company in a fraudulent manner on an application made to it shall pass an order as it deems fit for change of for the regulation of management, including changes in the articles of association or the memorandum of association, or in the public interest or creditors' interest or the members' interest. Okay. That's the removal of name from the register of the company. Directs the liability of the member become unlimited. Winding up of the company, pass any other order as it deems fit. Okay, but before passing such order, the company shall be given reasonable opportunity of being heard, and the tribunal shall take into the consideration the transactions entered by the company, including the obligations, if any, contracted or payment of liability. Okay. Section 7. Section 8. Section 8 is the company. Company is formed for promoting charitable purposes, where it is proved to the satisfaction of the central government that a person or association of persons proposed to be registered under this act as a limited company has the object in the promotion of commerce, art, science, sports, education, research, social welfare, religion, charity, protection of environment, or any other such objects, and intends to obtain profit, if any, or any other income in promotion of its objectives, intends to prohibit the payment of any dividend to its member. The CG may issue a license to allow that person or association of person to be registered as a limited liability company. Where it is proved the satisfaction of the central government that the person or association of person proposed to be registered under this act as a limited company, where it has the objective in the promotion of culture, commerce, art, science, culture, social welfare, religion, charity, or protection of the environment, or any other objects, intends to apply its profit, if any, or any other income for the promotion of its object, and intends to prohibit the payment of any dividend to its members. The CG may issue a license allow such person or association of person to be incorporated as a limited, to be registered as a limited company. Winding of the company. company. Again, upon the incorporation, central government power of CG to revoke the license of the section company. The CG may order to revoke the license of the company. The company contains any requirement or the conditions of this section subject to which the license were issued. Where the license is revoke issue பண்ணுறதுக்கும் சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் பவர் இருக்குது, ரிவோக் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் பவர் இருக்குது. Where the license is revoked, the central government may order if it as it deems fit to direct the company direct the company to be wounded up or under this act or amalgamate with the other companies listed under this act. The remains after satisfaction of the debt or any asset there may be transferred to another registered company under this act having the same objective, subject to the conditions as the tribunal has proposed, or may be sold and the proceeds shall be credited to the insolvency and bankruptcy fund. Fine. A company registered under Section 8 shall not alter the provisions of the MOA or AOA except with the prior approval of the central government. Section 8, okay. Section 9. Charging. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏಳು ನೇರ ಆಗಿದೆ. Section 9, effect of registration. Effect of registration in a company becomes becomes an entity, can sue and be sued. அதெல்லாம் தானே. About a separate legal entity, continuation of existence, property and contracts, capacity and powers, limited liability, purpose of succession. Okay. Effect of registration of MOA and AOA. MOA register ஆனதுக்கப்புறம் the members become liable for the company for debt and the பார்த்தனே entrenchment section 2 section 99999. Effect of registration of articles. Section 10, effect of registration. And for the contract show, it provides that the members are liable to the company, company is liable to members, members are not meant to this thing. Okay. Section 10A, commencement of business. So within 30 days, the company shall uh, register its registered office address. Commencement of business. Section 9. Having a share capital, having a share commence, having share capital, the company has to file with the registrar verification of its registered office provided under section 2 of section 12. Declaration is to be filed with the registrar. Declaration is to be filed by the registrar within 180 days of incorporation of the company in form INC 20A. Duly verified by the secretary, by chartered accountant or company secretary or cost accountant in practice, along with the prescribed fee that every subscriber to the memorandum has paid the value of shares agreed to take by him on the date of declaration. Fine. So 10 year 11 12 12 வந்து registered office class. So what is the registered office class? Registered office class. The company changes place of registration of office from one jurisdiction to the register of another within the same state, then such concept என்னன்னா change in the register office whether it is within the local limit of a city, town or village, or restriction sufficient. சரி போய்ட்டு வந்து மிச்சத்தை பார்ப்போம்.